Today, I'm in the middle of a cemetery. Usually, you wouldn't fish here. However, there's a river literally right there. I want to find out what type of fish will call these waters home. We're going to be exploring below and above the surface of the water. Hopefully we can catch a graveyard monster.
Someone just came up and hit it. Oh, he's still on it. Oh, there we go. We got a fish. I know there's some deeper water down this way. So what I want to try to do is try to cast into the current a little bit more to where it deepens up. I want to see if I can pull something a little bigger out of there.
For my first bait, I'm throwing around a classic meatball of worms, looking to catch some panfish. And that plan is working out pretty good.
There we go. That's a decent fish. Let's see what we got. Hey, that's not a bad sized little bluegill right there. This is definitely one of the bigger bluegill you will find in this little river. Decent size. You could put that on a frying pan. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we find this river-dwelling bluegill. He was just chilling out there in the current. Nothing too big, just picked up the worm and was an easy catch. We're gonna go ahead and get this guy back in the water. All right, little buddy, let's go ahead and get you on your way. Not a bad little fish. Let's go ahead and send him off. There he goes, right back into the water. One thing about this river is if you look here, you can see our main current is going this way, but in this spot we have an area where the water is flowing back towards shore. That creates a little area of spin, and sometimes you'll get fish that just hang out in those little circulations. So I'm gonna toss a little worm right into that middle of that area, and we're gonna see if anything comes up and grabs it. Usually if you wanna catch some fish, this is a good way to do it, is to find these little spinning eddies is what we call them. Like that. Easy. Look at that. Easy as that with these rivers. Find these little areas of spin, cast something down in there, good chance you'll find a fish. There's a nice little bluegill for you. All right, everyone, look at that. Another bluegill added to the count. This one was hanging out in one of those eddies. A lot of times with these rivers, you get these little areas of circulation where fish like this like to hang out because it's an easy resting spot for them with tons of food just flowing right in there for them. This is a smaller bluegill, a lot smaller than the one we just caught, but still very, very pretty. Got those nice greens and blues on them and that blue spot right on the top of their gill. We're gonna go ahead and let this guy go back into that little circulation there. Send him right back where we got him. Very pretty little fish. Check him out with the glisten of the sun there. You can see all those gorgeous colors on this guy. These bluegills are always fun to catch. Let's go ahead and let this guy go. There he goes, back into the cover of this down tree. All right, this first spot was pretty good. We caught some little bluegill. However, I want to move farther upstream where there's a bit more structure and a bit deeper water. I want to see if I can pull out some of the predatory fish that call these waters home. Check out this little spot here. It's nice and shaded, the water's a bit cooler. There's also lots of bugs feeding on the surface right now. I'm kind of thinking if we throw some bait down underneath that bridge, we should pretty easily be able to find a fish. To fish underneath this bridge here, I've got one of these really small little spinner baits. I'm thinking if I just bounce it along the deep part of the stream, we'll be able to find either a rock bass or something else hiding in the shadows here. I just noticed something in here. We have another little eddy in the river in front of us. This other little swirl is sitting right down here, right in front of us. If there's one thing I've learned from this spot is that there's tons of little fish nestled up along the shoreline. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna drop a GoPro down into the water. I'm gonna try to recreate one of those TikTok videos where you see the bluegill come up to the worm and it gets pulled up to the surface. I'm gonna go ahead and literally just set this rod down like right in front of our little camera here. Meanwhile, I'm gonna cast some lures down under this bridge. Shoot, I caught a tree immediately. Are you freaking kidding me? There we go. I just caught a whole tree branch. Shoot. Maybe that's our sign that this isn't quite working. Our worm, though, has been kind of locking in on pulling in some of these little bluegill. Part of me just wants to switch focus and just focus on getting in one of these little guys. Here he comes. He's looking at it. He's checking it out. He's got it. Oh, he spit it out. Here comes another one. Is he gonna be brave enough to go for the worm? He's checking it out. Literally just swam and looked at it and swam away. Dude, these bluegills do not want this worm. What if I try to move spots a bit? Fine, let me move this GoPro here. What if I try like up over here? Got a nice fresh meatball on the line. I'm just gonna go ahead and plunk that in front of the GoPro. And hopefully now that we have a bigger chunk of worm on there, it's a bit more enticing. Oh, here they come. Here he goes. He's going in. And he's hooked up. Let's bring him on up. There we go, finally. Took us a little bit, but we caught the biggest bluegill in that little eddy, and we got him on the underwater camera.
All right, ladies and gents, look at that. Got this nice bluegill there, got him on the underwater camera, and this is the biggest fish that was cruising around in that little eddy. Had lots of little smaller guys come and check it out, but this is the biggest one of the bunch, and he was looking for an easy meal. We're gonna go ahead, get this guy back in the water, and I might throw the lure around to see if we can find anything bigger in the middle of this river.
All right, bud. We're gonna go ahead and let you free here. Let's let him free in front of the camera as well. Right down in there. All right, hopefully this camera had a good view. All right, the sun is starting to get low in the sky, and so far bluegill have been the theme of the day. However, there's one more spot that I want to try out. It's just a little farther upstream, and I'm thinking if we throw a couple more lures around, we might be able to find one of the predators that's feeding on these bluegill. We know they're in here, we just gotta find them. All right, the final lure I want to test out is the Whopper Plopper. These lures make a lot of noise and a lot of splashing right on the top of the water. Hopefully that's gonna be enticing for a big fish hidden along the shoreline. I'm just gonna go ahead and cast it along the shoreline here and just see if there's anything else nestled up in here that's looking for an easy meal. I'm gonna go ahead and try to nestle this right in the opposing shoreline. Oh, something just hit it. Something just came up and hit it. Oh, he's still on it. Oh, there we go. We got a fish. Got him on the Whopper Plopper. Look at that. What do we got on here? Look at that. We got a little, what do we got? Oh, we got a nice little rock bass. Hit the Whopper Plopper on the surface there. I'm gonna have to get the pliers to get you unhooked. That is not a bad rock bass there, hiding in this river. Now don't freak out on me while I try to unhook you, okay? All right, I'm gonna need pliers here. We're gonna have to do a little surgery. Got him off. What a beauty. Let's get the big camera set up here for some glamour shots. Alrighty. Ladies and gentlemen, check out this guy. I'm gonna lay down here with you. We got this beautiful rock bass on the Whopper Plopper. Pretty good size one too. This is definitely one of the bigger fish that lives in this river here. So far, this cemetery has put on a really fun day of fishing. We got a nice rock bass blow up on the Whopper Plopper there, right on the surface, tons of bluegill. This is a prime fishing habitat here. I'm gonna go ahead and let this guy go, and we're gonna go ahead and call it a day. All right. All right, buddy. We're gonna go ahead, get you back off in the water here. Look at that. There you go. Just like that. Clean release. Swims off back into the river.
one thing's for sure, this cemetery isn't fished super heavily. I was cruising this shoreline and I didn't see any signs really that anyone has fished here, but this is a prime fishing habitat. We saw some little bluegill, a couple of the bigger bluegill, and the bass that like to eat them all. So with that, hopefully you all enjoyed today's fishing adventure, and I'll see you again soon. Take care, guys.